Retired Marine Corps General Jim Jones is a former NATO military commander in Europe. Later, he was President Obama's national security advisor. General, good morning. Good to have you here.
Thank you. Good to be here.
What are we not doing with the situation with Ukraine that we think we should be doing?
Well, we're doing a lot of things. This is a situation that's taking place in very rapid fire time. I think certainly one of the things we should be thinking about is how this might affect the revitalization of NATO as a viable 21st century institution. And there's an awful lot that we could be doing and should be doing there to reassure our Eastern European and Central European allies. Secondly, I think that the energy strategic use of energy down the road could certainly affect the Russian behavior in the future.
That's a great point. So Russia is the world's largest exporter of natural gas. Ukraine needs that natural gas. But the U.S. recently replaced Russia as the world's largest producer of natural gas, and yet we have restrictions on exporting it. You think that could change things if we open the spigot? Absolutely.
Mr. Putin has no qualms about using energy as a weapon.
Yes.
We see it as a vehicle to peace and prosperity. The Europeans are dependent to the tune of about 30% on Russian gas and oil. And we have technology that is transforming our own economy in fracking for oil shale and oil gas. We can work with the Europeans to make them less dependent on Russian energy, which is what they want, by the way. Mm-hmm. And I think that this is a long-term strategic tool that we can use to dissuade future Russian behavior along these lines.
How do you think this crisis will end?
Hopefully diplomatically.
But what kind of deal do you think would work?
That's a question that is going to be unfolding before our eyes. But I would say that this is a moment now where actions are required and words should be chosen very carefully.
Do you think at least the threat of military intervention should be on the table?
I think everything should be on the table. You don't really have to talk about it, but if you talk about it too much, you lose your credibility, and you have to be taken seriously.
Is there a danger, in a sense, with respect to Putin, that you should somehow leave him room and not sort of, go too far so that he has an off-ramp or capacity to withdraw without feeling that he's been insulted?
There's no question that Mr. Putin is playing out his role as he sees his own history, as he understands his history, which is quite different from the way we look at history books. Mm-hmm. And I think that you do have to allow for the fact that he may conclude that he might have overreached, and you do have to give him an opportunity to back out.
What mistakes have we made so far, either in not anticipating this or how we've reacted?
I'm quite sure that, I mean, I'm out of the mainstream now, but I'm quite sure that our intelligence networks probably had some advance warning of something like this.
So they did not fail us?
I would be surprised if we didn't, given all the other things we're capable of finding out around the world. That would surprise me. I don't know that... I think that one of the things that we can shore up now, and needs to be shored up, is Allied support and our own support for the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. The Baltic states are very nervous. We can do a lot to reassure them. Mr. Putin has manipulated parliamentary decisions in Bulgaria and Romania on anti-fracking legislation. They're occupying the 2 ports in the Crimea that would be LNG ports for the Ukraine. And as a matter of fact, shale oil and gas is plentiful in Ukraine, but not in Russia.
One example of criticism is that we could have somehow gotten European Union to accelerate the relationship with Ukraine, and that would have helped avoid this.
Well, today NATO is meeting with the NATO-Russia Council, and this is a council that's existed for many years, and I think NATO membership for Ukraine, for Moldova, for Georgia, is something that might be accelerated in the future.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, General.